Chapter 5 Manohar, get more rusks, Mamiji said to the cook. And make the filling for the paranthas. I will come and check soon, Rachna said. Manohar placed the tea tray on the garden table and headed back into the house. Rachna picked up the kettle and poured tea into 3 cups. I added a spoonful of sugar into mine. I was about to do the same for Mamiji when Rachna stopped me. Stevia for Mamiji, Rachna said. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize, I said. I have to manage my sugar now. Stupid doctor, Mamiji said. My in-laws have a 700 square yard bungalow in Phase V of Gurugram. It's a sprawling house spread over 2 floors. The ground floor has a garden, a huge living room, a kitchen and a massive master bedroom. The first floor has 4 bedrooms. Manish and I occupied 2 of them when we lived there. These are now guest rooms. The other 2 bedrooms belong to Timmy and Rachna, who have a room each for themselves and their kids. Manohar returned with homemade elaichi rusks and placed them on the table next to the tea tray. The table was an 8-seater, with cast iron chairs painted white. It's almost 8. When will the men wake up? Rachna said. Shall I go wake Timmy? Let them sleep. They drank too much. They miss being together, the 2 brothers, with their father, Mamiji said. Okay. The first crisp taunt of the day had arrived, along with the crisp rusks. Then I remembered what Manish had said the previous night. Perhaps I was being too sensitive. I dug my feet in the dewy morning grass and stayed quiet. And the kids, Rachna said, not good to sleep so late. It will be difficult to wake them up for school tomorrow. I'll wake them up in a few minutes if they don't get up on their own, I said. Just then Sanjay and Rohit walked into the garden. Sanjay rubbed his eyes and held a small teddy bear in his hand. Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Chachi. Good morning, Mommy, the boys sang. Hello, beta, good morning, I said. Did you sleep well? Sanjay nodded. Rohit sat next to me and picked up a rusk. Where are your sisters? Rachna said. Sleeping, Sanjay said, sitting next to my mother-in-law. I'll go wake them up, I said. I left the garden and walked up to the first floor. I knocked on the door of the children's room. Good morning, I said in a sing-song voice. I entered the room and saw Suhana fast asleep clutching her pillow tight. I did not see Saya in the room. Wake up, little princess, I said to Suhana. Suhana moved a little. I went to the bathroom door. Saya, are you in there? I said loudly. No response. I knocked on the bathroom door. Again, no answer. I pushed down on the handle and saw the door was unlocked. I entered the bathroom. It was empty. The light was on, same as I had left it the night before. Beta, where's Saya Didi? I said, shaking Suhana's leg. Suhana didn't answer. I tugged at her sheet. Wake up, beta, where's Saya Didi? I said again. I noticed then that Suhana had wet the bed. She had not done this in a long while. She had smudges under her eyes. Suhana, wake up, I said, gently tapping her cheek. She opened her eyes. Mommy, she said. Suhana sat up on the bed, her eyes red. She grabbed my arm and pulled me towards her. I hugged her tight as she buried her face in my shoulder. Good morning, darling, I said. Why do you look tired? Mommy, she said. I decided not to bring up the wet patch on the sheet to avoid embarrassing her. Come on, you need to change, I said. And where is Saya Didi? Is she sleeping with Daddy? Mommy, Suhana said again and held me tighter. I extracted myself from her. I pulled out another set of Suhana's night clothes from my weekend stroller bag. The last thing I wanted was my mother-in-law to comment on Suhana's wet pajamas. I made Suhana stand on the bed as I changed her into a fresh set of clothes. Go to the garden. Wish everyone good morning. Dadu, Daddy, Rachna Tie and Timmy Tire. All separately, okay, Mommy, Suhana said, again and began to cry. What happened, beta? I said. She held me tight again. I wondered if she had realized she wet the bed. I stroked her long hair as she cried. I swept her dark brown curls from her forehead and wiped her eyes. Bad man, she said, pointing to the pillows. What? I said, confused. Bad man with knife, she said. Beta, you had a bad dream. I said. That explains the bed wetting, I thought. Bad man, Mommy, she said and continued to cry. Okay, beta, it is over. Bad dream gone. Now let's wash your face. Don't go downstairs like this. I washed her face in the bathroom and combed her hair. She refused to let go of me. I walked out of the room with her, her hand in mine. I knocked on the other guest room door, right opposite the room the children had slept in. Manish, I said, wake up now, everybody is downstairs. He didn't answer. I opened the door. Manish was on his stomach, mouth slightly open, snoring lightly. No Saya next to him. I checked the bathroom of this room too. Nobody was inside. Manish, I said, it's past 8. Get up. And where's Saya? Huh, Manish said, rubbing his face as he woke up. What? Where's Saya? She came to sleep with you. No. Manish sat up on the bed. He stretched his arms and twisted from side to side. Sure. Do you see her here? Manish said, slightly irritated. Hi, Suhana dear. Good morning. He leaned forward to give Suhana a hug. I left her with him. I went down to the garden again. My father-in-law and Timmy had come downstairs by then and were laughing about Timmy's rusk breaking in his teacup as soon as he dipped it. Good morning, Bhabiji. Welcome, Timmy said. He stood up and pulled out a chair for me. Let's go to Sagar Ratna and have dosas for lunch. What say? Punjabis become madrasas for a day, Timmy said, and everyone laughed again. Where's Saya? I said. What? Timmy said, surprised at my serious tone. You went to wake them up? No. Mammaiji said, placing her cup on the table. She's not there. Suhana was still sleeping in the room, but I couldn't find Saya. Bathroom, Rachna said. No, I checked our room too. She didn't go to Manish. And she's not in our bathroom either. Papaji, did she come to your room? No, beta, Papaji said. Timmy and Papaji got up and walked back into the house. Manohar, Timmy shouted. Manohar came from the kitchen, hands specked with flour. You saw Saya Betty? Papaji said. No, Sirji, Manohar said. I was preparing paranthas in the kitchen. I checked my in-law's bedroom on the ground floor. I couldn't find Saya either in the bedroom or in the ensuite bathroom. When did you see her last, beta? Papaji said as he entered his room. Last night, Papaji, when I put all the kids to bed. Manish checked on them later too, right before he came to sleep, I said. I checked the bathroom again, even though I knew there was no point. Nobody saw her in the morning. Papaji said. I shook my head. Ask the other kids. Maybe they will know something. We returned to the garden. Sanjay and Rohit were eating frosted cornflakes with milk. Beta, you saw Saya Didi this morning. I said. They shook their heads. Timmy joined us in the garden. She's not upstairs. I checked all the rooms, including our bedrooms, Timmy said. In case she walked in there and dozed off bathrooms. I said. Timmy shook his head. Manish came to the garden. What's going on? Where is Saya? Manish said. Something did not seem right. My hands began to tremble. Where's my daughter? I said. I was starting to panic. Could she have gone for a morning walk or something? Timmy said. She never does. I said. She goes to the Icon Garden sometimes in the evening. Never in the morning. And never without telling me. Manish, I've got a bad feeling. She must be around. Maybe. Went out to meet a friend. Or to get something from the market, Mamiji said. What friend? Get what? I said. Sit down, everyone. Beta, you sound too tense. Relax, Papaji said. He signaled to all of us to move inside. We went into the living room and sat on the sofas. She is the mother, she will be tense. Let the rest of us think in a calm manner, Papaji said. Manish, what do you think? I don't know what to think, Papaji. I just woke up. Did you see her asleep at night? Uddharan, I took a peek. The kids were there, either asleep or about to sleep. But, yes, I did see all 4 of them, Manish said. Okay, Papaji said. So she was at home safe at the time. If she's not around, it is likely she went out on her own. She has her phone. Alia, call her. No, instead of freaking out, Manish said. I am not freaking out, I said, my voice hysterical. I called her from my phone and I heard it ring upstairs. Manish ran up the steps. He came back after a minute. He held Sia's phone in his hand. It was charging in our room, Manish said. Oh, then she should be around, Rachna said, if her phone is here. I forgot I kept her phone there to charge. Otherwise she keeps checking it at night and doesn't sleep, I said. Oh, Rachna said. Everyone fell silent. She hasn't left on her own, I said. She never leaves without her phone. Anyway, She have made a plan with a friend without her phone? You have the phone password. Manish said. I do, I said. I unlocked her phone. No new calls. She had a couple of Snapchat messages from her various friends groups, most of them memes and funny forwards. Nothing here suggests she had to go somewhere, I said, scrolling through her messages. Let's check the house again. We looked into the bedrooms. There's the terrace, backyard and servant's room, Timmy said. For the next half hour, Timmy, Rachna, Manish, Papaji and I scanned every square inch of Navratna house. I went to the terrace. No sire. I checked the servant's room and the toilet on the terraces. Well, nothing. She must be here only, having fun seeing us searching for her, Mummiji said. The adults in the family had gathered in the living room again. The side gate is not locked. Isn't that supposed to be locked? Timmy said. I don't know. Manohar checks it usually, Rachna said. Though we seldom open it. So how could it be unlocked? She didn't leave through the front gate. That's still locked, Timmy said. Who the hell opened the side gate? And when? That's dangerous, Papaji said. That idiot Manohar must not have shut it. He opens it sometimes for deliveries. I always lock it, Mummiji said. Where is Sire? I said to no one in particular. I couldn't stop trembling. The three kids in the house were at the dining table. Suhana stared at the wall as her two cousins fumbled with the iPad. Manish, I said, what do we do? Did anyone ask the kids? He said in a soft voice. Nobody responded. Manish walked to the dining table. Hey guys, good morning, Manish said. Good morning, Chachu, Rohit said. Sanj I remained busy with the game on the iPad. Do you know where Sire Didi is? The two boys shook their heads. Suhana beta, Manish said. Do you know where Sire Didi is? Uddharan. Suhana shook her head. She did not make eye contact with Manish. Where could she have gone? Manish said. Bad man, Suhana said. I jumped up from the sofa. Did she know something? I went to the dining table and sat on a chair next to Suhana. Bad man was not just a dream. I said. Suhana shook her head. Bad man knows about Sire Didi. I said. Suhana nodded. My in-laws gathered around the dining table as well, intrigued. What happened, beta? I said in a gentle voice. Bad man came with knife. He took Sire Didi, Suhana said, finding it hard to put the words together. Took, Manish said. His loud voice caused Suhana to tremble in fear. Papaji kept a finger on his lips, signaling to everyone to be quiet. He stood next to his granddaughter. Tell Dadu, don't be scared. You saw something. Suhana nodded. Tell me, Papaji said. We were all lying down. Sanjay and Rohit Bhai had gone to sleep. Didi and I were chatting. Daddy came to check, so we pretended to be asleep. What happened then? Manish said. We slept. Then a noise woke me up. I saw a bad man. He had a knife that he kept on Didi's neck like this, Suhana said, placing her hand sideways on her neck to show the position. Oh, I gasped. Papaji said, and then, beta. Bad man said to Didi, get up and come with me. Don't make a sound. If you do, I will kill all your brothers and sisters. And your whole family. Uddharan, you heard that. For sure, I said. Suhana nodded, staring at the wall. How come? Weren't you asleep? Manish said. I was pretending to sleep. Like I did when you came to check. What happened afterwards? I said. Didi left with him. I stayed in bed, scared. I stayed quiet because I didn't want the bad man to kill any of you. Suhana burst into tears. I picked her up and held her, resting her head on my shoulder. As I consoled my younger daughter, my heart pounded fast, worried sick about my elder one. Papaji, I said, what do we do now? Beta, I think this is beyond us. We need to call the police. Uddharan,